G'day, Tragic here, and part 3 of the Star Wars plugin. I just want to have a quick look at the deck editor. It's actually quite functional. So let's load up, and we'll just click on the deck editor, which is up the top here. Click, and you'll see this, which is a bit of a wall of text. It's a little bit intimidating at first, but it's actually very easy to use. Each of these columns you can click on and drag out so you can get a better idea of what you've got. Okay, now it works out very simply. You've got name, set, affiliation, pod number, which is probably the best way to sort it. So if you sort by that, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's the whole of pod 1. Anyway, you've got faction, and you'll notice that for say pod 1.2 I've written Jedi, and that's just because I wanted to know whether my neutral cards were linked to Jedi cards or not. So that's why this is a neutral card, but it's in a Jedi pod. Okay, and then you have type, and this is just like identity, force card, objective card, and all that kind of stuff. And you've got subtypes, so you can, sort by force or sort by character, force user, or whatever you want. And then you have resources, how much resources they can generate, what cost is the card, how many force icons it has, and then there's all these I put in. So there's health, obviously, and you've got blaster B, bomb B, tactics B. Now what this means is these are black blaster icons. So you can just click on that and you can see this card, which we'll just quickly download, has 3 blaster icons, right? And you'll also note after those 3, then you have, you have blaster white, bomb white, and tactics white. So we can click on this, defensive Coruscant, 5 white blasters. Crazy. And even beyond that, there's a column called speed, and that way you can sort by reaction or action, and then you've got the text of the card, which you probably won't need. Now, yes, it's a little bit clunky using all those columns. I mean, it's kind of cool to sort them by blaster icon number and stuff like that, but I really think the most useful sorting method is just to leave it on pod, so the pods are in order. And then we're going to come down and use these filters, and these are very simple to use. So for starters, we're going to click on turn on the set, and we're going to type in Hoth, for example, and we see only cards from Hoth. Okay, or one you'll obviously be using, click on affiliation, let's just type in dark side, and now only the dark side cards are shown. Or we can type in pod, and we can just type in, I don't know, 22, and now we just see pod 22. Or we can come in here and we just type a star, and we can just see all the unique cards. Come down to speed, and let's type in reaction, and now we see just the dark side cards that are at reaction speed, and so forth. It's just a filter system. Okay, and also if you know the name of the card, just type in the name, and I mean the exact name, so starting with the. So let's type in the, and you can see everything that starts with the, and that's another way to filter cards very easy. So yeah, the deck editor is actually pretty powerful. Now, there are some things you should realize about the deck editor. One is there's a lot of cards in this game that have the exact same name. Now, Lackey cannot handle cards with the same name, yet because of the edge card system, I couldn't give them unique names if they were in different pods, because if you used them in an edge battle, then it would reveal information to the other player about what pods they're running. Now, what this means is, in the deck editor itself, everything is listed correctly, but if you add, say, especially with things like Twist of Fate, okay, if I add this Twist of Fate DS, and there's probably, well, let's just use the filter. There's 4 Twist of Fates, right? Now, if I add this Twist of Fate, and then I add another Twist of Fate, and then I add the next Twist of Fate, and the next Twist of Fate, I now have 4 Twist of Fates in the set, okay? Because 3 of them are from core, they all come in as 1. It makes no functional difference to your deck. It just means that when I sort by pod, it only takes the first instance of the card with the non-unique name. But when you're building your deck, it doesn't make a difference. It just means that the decks you actually have in your deck editor are going to look a little off, and there's nothing I can do about this. Still, it's very minor, and it really makes no difference at all. So the way I like to use the pod system is, if I'm going to, I just turn on pod. If I want pod 19, I just go 19, and then I just click on it, and then down here you'll see a whole bunch of buttons. Now obviously this is kind of designed for Magic the Gathering, that's why it's got the +4, but if you just click on plus 1, 2, press the down button on your keyboard, 1, 2, down button, 1, 2, down button, 1, 2, down button, 1, 2, down button 2, and you're ready to rumble. That's put all the cards in. Then I just go to Fall of the Jedi, which is the 1, and just drag that to the objective. Click, simple as that. So if I wanted to add pod 23, I just go click 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then I just grab 23, 1 and move to objective. Very, very simple. And also, don't forget to put in your force cards like so. So just type force, so make sure you put in 3 copies of your force card, and of course you also don't forget to put in your identity and put that into the force area as well. Okay, so that's how to use the deck editor. Very, very simple. You have save decks, exports, so you can export to text files to put on forums. You can even just copy it straight to the clipboard, browse, and all those kind of things. And that is pretty much how the deck editor functions. And yeah, so that's the whole of the plugin. It's still going to be tweaked over the next couple of packs as I work out some better ways of doing things. But that should be it. Okay, so yeah, see you next time. Have fun and roll high.